Well, it took me 8 years, but I finally got it, the French passport. But does it make me truly French? Today we're looking at what does it mean to be French, but en français. Allez, viens avec moi. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire être français?
Ça, c'est une bonne question de vivre dans un pays libre, bien sûr.
Vivre ici, participer à la vie, à la culture, à l'art, à l'économie.
Wow, that's such a difficult question.
If you think you're going to come here and get rich from France, that's just a big joke. That's not going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think I was born to be here because I love complaining. It's my favorite thing to do.
Well, is everyone more snooty, or is that just the cliche?
I mean, I would say I will never date a French man.
You talk about food, wine, you're in.
I have no idea.
Okay, on va s'inspirer avec Laurine.
Alors c'est très intéressant parce qu'on a justement fait ça à Sciences Po, c'est-à-dire qu'il y avait des Français et après on a fait la France. Il y avait des peuples différents qui parlaient des langues différentes et ensuite la France s'est construite et il fallait faire des Français, donc c'était à travers l'éducation nationale. Mais ça veut aussi dire que peu importe d'où tu viens, tu peux devenir français.
As long as you covet food and wine, you always have a conversation. And every French person I have met knows a lot more than I do about food and wine. It's
Part of the culture.
It's really a special culture.
Je pense la table, c'est important.
La table. Ok.
D'être assis à table pendant longtemps, des longs repas, parler, boire. Par exemple, nous au boulot, très facilement on peut prendre une bonne heure de pause, 2 heures. Je sais que c'est très difficile de faire ça aux États-Unis.
C'est très long, ouais.
Mais nous, c'est possible.
They have a subsidized lunch, and it's hot food.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't know, any cafeteria you can imagine, but that's just a standard offering. And for companies that don't have in-house cafeterias, they'll give you these tickets de resto.
Yeah.
So like basically coupons to go and have lunch at a restaurant or go buy a sandwich or something like that. So it's an expected benefit.
When you move to France, if you're paying attention, you realize that they value the same things, but they also value things differently. There's a lot of value on like eating lunch.
Yeah.
And so that's going to last at least an hour. Another thing is like vacation, taking a vacation. And just taking a whole month and just going somewhere and just being, and it's just a different way of looking at things. One's not better than the other in general, but one could be better for certain people.
A lot of the earnings that you're getting are going towards the French government paying for this wonderful social safety net that we have in France.
That doesn't bother me in the least.
Okay.
Why? Because I get a lot for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have this beautiful, amazing country with an incredible infrastructure. I have the best healthcare you can have that costs almost nothing. I'm here to do something really good and be rewarded, okay, personally by what I do, not financially. Does that make sense?
It does.
I mean, you don't move to France to make money or to get rich, okay? That's just crazy. If you're going to live in France, it's because you have a passion for doing something. So if you don't believe in this idea of socialism and spreading the wealth, then you're kind of in trouble.
I learned quite recently that the theory of nationalities actually comes before the age of 10. I came to France a lot as a child. My grandfather used to ride on a horse to have a coffee on the Champs-Élysées, just to show you how
You said your grandfather?
My grandfather.
Okay, lovely.
As such. But it doesn't mean that I feel French. You've got to really embrace the culture. You've got to have a lot of French friends.
Having French friends, dating French people, being part of the system, I think, like doing everything that a French person does. Being able to speak French.
Okay.
Being able to understand French culture, to pick up on these pop culture moments, get the jokes, speak the slang, know the music, listen to French artists. Watch, French sports, keep up with what's going on. Protesting, having gone to a grève, I've certainly grèved in my life, so I would say all of those things.
We consider French to be rude or off-putting sometimes is because many times it can be explained, not all the time, but many times it can be explained by us just not understanding and breaking their codes.
Yeah.
The typical example is walking into a store and not saying bonjour. It's like when I walk into a store in America, I'm like, don't engage.
Yeah.
Don't engage.
You don't need to say
because I don't want this pressure from the
Yeah.
salesperson. I'm a salesperson, and I know that, but I'm like, you walk into like a J. Crew, you're like, please spare me,
Yeah.
And I think most people feel that way. And here, it's like they're gonna leave you alone. Just say hello. It's polite,
Yeah.
I think the French, we've been talking about politeness. I mean, Kathy has to remind me to say bonjour when I walk into a store, or say goodbye or merci.
It's kindness. It's not.
It's kindness.
It's a set of rules that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Bonjour, au revoir. but it's also a kindness. It really is. I mean, and of course you have the rudeness. I mean, but don't we all in a different way, shape or form? But for me, it's the politesse that right now at this point in my life.
I don't know. Everyone's a bit more snooty and a bit more proud and.
Well, is everyone more snooty, or is that just the cliche?
I mean, I would say I will never date a French man, or I would never date a Parisian man. I would only date a French man.
Okay.
Because, I don't know, I think, well, for me, I feel like so much of my personality is like the fact that I uprooted my life to make this dream happen.
Yes.
And all of my friends, that's our common factor. I'm not, I'm always the one left out, like this is not my culture and I'm displaced from it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's important for me to be with someone who understands that and relates to that.
Yeah.
Even if it is the idea of them having the big move from another part of France into Paris.
How would you describe the act of becoming French?
That's a pain.
That's a pain.
Well, the process.
Yeah, I mean, you get used to the fact that you send them information, they ask for more information, you send that information, they ask for more information, you send that information. And then at one point they actually sent me a letter that said, "We have all we need, thank you so much." And you're just kind of like, wait a minute. What? You don't want to dance with me anymore? You know, what did I do wrong?
It's exciting for me to have a place to call home and have that stability. It's nice to be invited and included and a part of that community and that culture and that country in a legal way and not have to deal with some of the bureaucracy issues, being able to vote, being able to travel and come and go with ease.
The thing is, I'm never going to be a French person. Even when I obtain French citizenship, I think there's you cannot control your identity, right? You cannot control where you were born, what you grew up with, your native tongue, everything that I came from has shaped who I am. So even if I obtain French citizenship, that means I'm a permanent welcome guest, but I'm still a guest. You get what I mean?
I have a different vision, and it's just kind of terrible to express. It kind of sounds really utilitarian and whatever. But I'm just you're absolutely contributing to society here, and not just economically speaking. Socially, you're making friends, you have your own network, you have your own. You're living here, you're eating here, you're contributing to the economy, you're paying your taxes. You deserve to be here. I don't care if you don't speak a lick of French. You know, I mean, c'est le minimum. Je pense que c'est le minimum quand on demande, quand on n'est pas né quand on demande de devenir citoyen de quelque part. Il faut connaître la loi, la base de la société, les règles de la société, et les respecter.
While I perfectly understand that for a large number of people, having a passport in a certain country is very important because it's the only way that they can plan long term. For me, it's not very important. First of all, because I've lived here for so long, so I don't have to worry. My husband's French, my children are French. I don't feel that I need, from an immigration perspective, to be French. It's more a deep down feeling okay, when there are things like the coronation, people can laugh here, but when there's a coronation or when the Queen died, yes, I am proud to be British. So if I'm proud to be British, why would I take another nationality?
I used to pick on them, but I do this now. French men and women put their pajamas behind their pillows.
That's so specific.
It's so specific because when I would go to make the bed, my boyfriend's I was like, I thought he was trying to hide them. I was like, you think you're being sneaky? You think I'm not going to see these? And he's like, no, that's where we put them. And I'm like, why? There's drawers. And he's like, but I wore them. And I'm like, but you're going to wear them again tonight. So it's, and that's where they put them. And guess what? Now I put mine behind my pillow. So.
And now you're French.
Yeah, now I'm French.
Because you're putting your pajamas
behind
your pillows.
Yeah, I'm putting my pillows behind, yeah.
And there's food if you like to eat, and there's wine if you like to drink.
Oh yeah. I mean, part of my industry is I'm selling French visas, but I think the underlying thing is I'm selling France. France resonates with a lot of people. There's a lot of people see themselves, and it's a better version of life here in France.
I offered to move back to the States, but he said no.
You know, I love Boston so much, but I love Paris even more. And I knew Boston really well, and now I know Paris really well too, but I'll always be getting to know Paris, and I'll always be becoming French. It's not like now I'm French and that's it.
I love that answer. I'm always becoming French.
Yeah, more and more.
It's a process.
It's like a process, yeah. When did you master French? It's well, it's a process.
Ce que ça veut dire d'être français, j'ai l'impression c'est à vous de décider ce que c'est d'être français au final. Voilà, essayez de donner de vous-même pour faire partie de la société. Je pense que c'est ça être français, c'est avoir le souhait de faire partie du club.